Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And if you do like the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's kick things off with a fair bit of news that's come out today. And this is pretty important. Now, crypto XRP news, in regards to dLocal. So for those of you that are not aware, dLocal is about to IPO. And why it's important for Ripple and XRP in particular is that dLocal is a customer of Ripple. And why did that make sense to be positive for Ripple is that dLocal IPO is currently looking at raising more than $600 million in its upcoming public offering. And some of the dLocal's high-profile client base include the likes of Amazon, Microsoft, Spotify, just to name a few. And these clients essentially validate the dLocal's RippleNet-based business model. Now, approving this business model is really, really, really important. And it raises huge awareness for Ripple XRP. Now, will this movement alone make the price of Ripple move? No, of course not. It's not just one aspect, right? So there are multiple things that make a coin move. However, a $600 million successful IPO using the RippleNet's base business model will bring a lot of credibility out there in the marketplace. So a little bit of good news there to kick us off. Now, I like the fact of where we're going here, and that is that it's been crawling under resistance for a little bit, and we could see a breakout happen very, very shortly. Now, that breakout is a bullish breakout, and pretty exciting one at that. So we've been going sideways for a little bit, and we'll get more into the analytics and all that. Now, something that I think is really, really important, and I do get this question asked a fair bit, and that is, although this isn't necessarily XRP related news, but I really do encourage you to get out there and learn all these different things, because the market structures, the entry points, what it means, when it's a bullish, what it means when it's a bearish, new resistance, old resistance, break-in resistance, retest of support. These are all things that are very, very important. And what happens is generally when some of the feedback that I've had from some of you that watches this, like Serpent, you keep talking to me about resistance and support, but I don't even know what that means. Selling demand, buying demand, double top, triple top, bear trend, bull trend, bull uptrend. These are all important things to do. Now, I will, over the coming days, look to see what I can find and if we can maybe raise a video on that. And if you do want a video on this kind of stuff, do let me know in the comments below, because I do need some user participation on what it is that you guys think is missing from your research and when you do your own research. So I find this very, very valuable, and it is important to understand the lingo just in case you misinterpret the information that is provided. Now, Ripple has unveiled plans that it wants to achieve a carbon net zero by 2030. And that is a very ambitious goal. But again, I did say in early May that eco-friendliness and green was going to be a huge factor. And it did turn out to be a huge factor, with Elon Musk destroying Bitcoin literally overnight when he unleashed his tweet. And then all the things that followed from that as well. But the market was overbought, and so the retest that we're having now is actually aligning the market back into what it's actually meant to be worth. But now we're ready to kick off again and continue the bull run. So very, very interesting from Ripple that it wants to go carbon neutral by 2030. Now, in a few hours' time, I do think that we are going to be moving into a bullish pattern. Now, there are two scenarios that I'm going to be sharing with you today, so stay tuned and keep up to date. And what I always say as well is that it's really, really important to, whatever crypto you're with, make sure that you follow the channels, keep up to date with what's going on. How Africa could become a world leader in central bank digital currency. Those that really understand blockchain really understand just how disruptive blockchain will be to the world economy and world market. And I think, Africa could become a world leader in central bank digital currencies. And there is every opportunity of that happening now with blockchain making that possible. So huge couple of years coming up for world mass adoption of the blockchain systems, of cryptocurrencies, and 2021 is just scratching the service and certainly the beginning of the year has been extremely volatile, from the highs to the lows. And I think now we're going to stabilize for a little bit and then kick off again and really set the bull run on fire. Let's jump into Atani. Let's see what Atani's telling us. All right, so we're back in Atani, and now over here, what I want to highlight is that in the XRP versus USDT daily chart, we can see here what's going on as far as, the RSI, the MACD, and, we've been waiting for this moment, but we are just breaking the MACD, and, we've been trading sideways, so not a lot has happened over the last couple of hours since the last video. But if I look at the hourly chart, we've seen a rise in volume has just literally picked up. So at the time of making this, we've just bounced into a bit of volume. So by the time the video goes live, it'll be interesting to see what the difference is between what I'm saying right now and what's coming up. But we have seen a spike in volume, and we could potentially see that come through over the next couple of hours. So in the 2 hourly chart, we are still, like when the Bollinger Bands are close together, it means that there's not a lot of volatility. So we can look back at somewhere over here. You can see how big that was, but over here right now, there's not much happening at the moment, and so we're just going to keep an eye out on that. On the 2 hour chart, it does look like the MACD are separated into a bearish signal, but don't let that fool you, because when you zoom out and you look at the bigger picture, the bigger picture is bullish. So on the 12 hour, it's showing a bullish signal. The volume has kicked in, and on the daily chart, I believe we are crossing right now into a bullish pattern. So really exciting to watch these indicators and signals. They do tell us an interesting story every single time. And I think one of those stories is that, we have been waiting for a while for this to kick off. But now let's jump into some drawings and let's see what are the scenarios that we can expect. All right, I'm going to kick things off with the outcome that I don't think is most likely to happen, but I think it's an outcome that it is very, very important to address. And that is that from here, we do have the possibility of dropping down to 88 cents. It's a very, very possible outcome. I hate people that just always speak about just one way, right? So if there is an opportunity at 88 cents to purchase more, that will be a fantastic opportunity to get some. Now, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do want to mention this because when you have been trading sideways for a while, there's a couple of ways you can go. You can go up or you can go down. And so I want to bring that up as the first option because you could potentially be finding yourself a new entry at 88 cents. However, I don't think that could be the case. I do believe that if that were to play out, then it would play out somewhere along these lines, and we would, drop down to there and then kick off into the 120. And again, I want to mention it because it is important to note. Now, zooming out again, these are a couple of options that we got here. So we have an option at the moment where we're going to trend sideways for a little bit in this sort of $90, 85 cents, 99, 98, 95, and just go sideways for a little bit, maybe even just dip under $1 for a little bit and then go forward into 120s and $1.40s. The other option though, and I did mention it here, like the way that this is drawn at the moment is that, it could drop down to 85 cents and then slingshot back into 120s and 140s. So keep an eye out because that trend line is an important trend line. And, sometimes before a breakout begins, it does have to be retested. So keep an eye because there could be an opportunity right there. Now, when we look at the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, I think this is very, very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. And where we are right now and the way that this looks, it's looking mighty ready for a massive monster run. Now, if we zoom in into these two, they are the previous ones. And this is what's to come. And that is a massive, huge momentum about to arrive for XRP. What would that look like in USD dollars? Well, we would go to 240, trend sideways for a little bit, and then go all the way to $8. Now, as I've mentioned time and time again, we're going to walk before we run, and I want to bring you the information which is relevant to the charts than what we see today. And what I see today is this particular pattern at the very least from a bull run perspective. And then as we move forward, more news comes out, Flare comes out and all that, we will readjust our targets. But achieving an $8 XRP, $10 XRP throughout this bull run, for me personally, I think is going to be guaranteed. Now, again, not financial advice, I'm not a financial planner, but there are two things that I told you that I've been looking forward to in 2021. Number one, SEC versus Ripple case is settled or won. And number two is we see a $10 XRP. Now, if you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.